Have you been shaken up yet? Have you? The Golden Age state is one in which we are awake, aware, and alive. You can try to go back to sleep, but you'll be shaken up over and over again. Because Spirit actually taunts us when we disregard her. So keep them on their toes is kind of the mantra Sophia speaks. Keep them on their toes. Now, how can we be one step ahead of this world? Well, it doesn't require us looking ahead. You see, to be one step ahead, we just must stay aware, alive, and awake. And I'm not the one to quantify what that looks like for you. But we all know how we feel, how we look even, how we speak, and how we act when we're not feeling alive, awake, and aware. We feel ashamed, all of us, when we are not operating with all of our cylinders firing. Now, nothing is perfect in this 3D maze. Absolutely not. So when I say stay awake, stay aware, stay alive, the triple A's, I'm not insinuating that there is any holy grail form or persona or personality we must exist in. As long as we feel fresh, we know that we're awake. Things can be so stale. The materializations of this veil of Maya can appear so stale, so repetitive, so boring, so energetically limited and constrained and caged. We all know what self-imprisonment is like. We've been our own prison guards, our own wardens. But only when we're not awake, aware, alive. Alive, awake, aware. Aware, awake, alive. There are so many avenues of deception that are not here simply to deceive, okay? They're here to basically flaunt in our face the kind of energy one exists in when one decides to shut down in any capacity. The heart is what I'm speaking of. Without an open heart, without the freshness of the 0 point guiding us, beauty can't truly be acknowledged within ourselves. It is so easy to see a beautiful sunset or a flower and call it visually pleasing, visually beautiful. A sunset is beautiful. But you know what happens when we see and feel and acknowledge the beauty within? Even within the pain? What happens is we become the very beauty that we once thought could only be seen in a sunset or in some art piece. Why would we let the freshness of existence evade us? Maybe because we sometimes feel like we don't deserve to exist in such a state. Maybe we are afraid that such a state would lead to some sort of destruction or harm unto ourselves or others. Why can't we be silly? Why can't we even embrace what we have thought are monsters within? Why not? Duality is a huge reason why it's difficult to truly embrace every aspect of ourselves, because the split between right and wrong, righteous and damned, good and evil, that split doesn't lead us to the freshness we deserve. This world tells us over and over again that the best thing you can do is stay asleep. Not only that, when we open our eyes and insist on full clarity, we end up being challenged by the AI system that we've been consenting to for so long. But this has nothing to do with like a legion of demons out to get you. It may seem that way sometimes, but truly, we need to be challenged in order to maintain our ground in the face of opposition. Isn't that what we're experiencing on many levels right now? The truth is the truth, and we can only know it when we consent to full awareness, not a bit of awareness, not circumstantial awareness, not awareness of this specific conspiracy or that aspect of government corruption or what have you. This experience is truly holistic, and it's when we break everything down in these compartments that we actually break ourselves apart. So some parts of ourselves can stay asleep and some parts of ourselves can remain, and this leads to the very condition we all know, a very uncomfortable condition where we long so desperately to be harmony, to find harmony, to be beauty, to find beauty. Although, in a state of slumber, we foolishly and ignorantly suggest that we are mere victims. The world is too big. I can't handle it. And these moments are fine. I'm not saying They're not. But there comes a point in this awakening process, in this ascensional process, where all living souls shall stop completely consenting to any sort of slumber. Who disturbs my slumber? This image of an angry giant who wants to stay asleep is a pretty great image, I think. If it was up to us, we probably would not have truly woken up. After all, look back 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, blah, 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 blah. I mean, what were your dreams, huh? What were your earthly dreams? How did you want the future to unravel? And you're lying if you say, I had no desire. No, of course you did. All of us have experienced specific projections of how we can operate in a world of limitation. But before we knew truly that this was a world of limitation, in every way, not just in one way, in every way, before we knew this, we could engage in these fantasies and dreams. But anything we've ever held on to, even right here, right now, everything we've ever held on to, always flies away. Or if it doesn't fly away, transforms into some kind of monstrosity that we are then forced to let go of. Are you shaken up yet? Yes, you are. We are all shaken up. The world stage is very interesting right now, and the circumstances all around us beg for us to stay within the space of clear vision. And this does not mean we need to translate everything in like the correct or accurate way. All I am suggesting, all we are advocating, to keep your eyes open. You already know what hurts you. You already know what creates a sort of consciousness that feels icky. To snap out of a dream, we need to stop dreaming within a dream. I'm not saying don't dream. Imagination is divinity as far as I'm concerned. Dream away, but don't dream away the present moment if you really care about yourself. Don't wish away the circumstances if they are guiding you into yourself. And no matter how weird this situation we are all in is, many of us know that it is necessary. Maybe we don't want to really acknowledge it, but deep down there is this knowing that it is necessary to go through such obstacles and such strangeness. Because we were in slumber. Who disturbs my slumber? How dare you wake me up and destroy my illusion? I wanted my illusion. Isn't that what we all have said in some capacity? I wanted my illusion. Come on, I thought this is how it was. You thought wrong. Okay. This is a fucking illusion. No big deal. What? I'm imagining a dissenter who says, well, it's really not that simple. Are you saying nothing's real? How can I hold on to anything if nothing is real? Fuck you. Fuck you, Devin. What? That's why it's weird being in such a dense body. That's why no dots ever connect, and if they do, they lead to a dead end. What do you want from me, imaginary dissenter? Me to pet your illusions? Me to say, no, go to bed. It wasn't our choice. Consciously. We've known what we're doing this whole time. As infinite beings, we know exactly what we've been doing, okay? We wouldn't have consented to such an interesting, crazy journey here if we didn't know what we were doing. But it was none of our conscious decisions within the fabric of this matrix to really want to go from this point to that point to this point. It's like the whirlwind within the heart that has just been wrapping us in this gust of divine cosmic energies has been simply reaching out so we can touch it, but not cling to it. Just acknowledge it. Let's imagine the aurora borealis. This beautiful light, which exists at the center of our plane, which also exists at the center of our fields. There is no difference. Okay, when we look at the aurora, it is a dancing light that has form, but it's also formless. You see, it's quite unpredictable and fluid in its movement. Okay, well, all of us know what rigidity feels like when we try to isolate areas of our life and make them out to be this way or that way. And this rigidity goes against the fluidity of our own heart energy. So, knowing this truth, we can also know that we only sink into sleep when we're not relishing in the glide, in the unpredictability even, of the moment. And what we have called time is really just one moment, ever changing. One moment existing in infinite changeability. Changeability, yeah. And the moment alters into a moment that haunts us, a moment that we want to get out of, when we stop acknowledging this fluid force. Maybe we could all say, I thought I could fly. I thought I could fly. But the earth told me no. The earth said, you don't know how to fly. You only think you can fly. I thought I could fly. We can go from I thought I can fly to I know I can fly. Now, I think I'm divine. I know I'm divine. Not I think there is value in my experiences. I think maybe it's accurate that I might be going through a sort of process where I'm revealed my inner darkness in such a maze that I recognize it's not even darkness. It's not I thought. It's not I think. It's not I theorize. How about I know? And I know simply because I know now. I don't need a single soul to confirm to me anything. Nope. Other than my own soul. I don't need a single confirmation. When we've looked for confirmation here, we never got it, right? Confirm to me that my insights are correct. Why? Why would any of us want our insights to be confirmed? Well, the only reason we would is because we're insecure in that thought, not in that knowing, in that assumption, not in that embedded truth that is what it is, no matter what or how much opposition there is. Let us keep the energy fresh. I have spoken about the fallacy between positivity and negativity because many begin their spiritual escapade by holding on to positivity, right? And positivity caricatures an empowered state. It really does. Positivity is positive, isn't it? Hey, everybody, we're here, and it's this, and it's that, and and that's necessary, perhaps, but to put that kind of expression and embodiment on a pedestal is to actually disregard the fullness of energies we can experience. This is why I say, let us keep things fresh, not just positive, not just full of light and rainbows. You see, when I say harmony and expansion, I don't mean positivity necessarily, right? Because harmony can exist within an energy that is not exactly positive, right? Harmonizing within an interesting freshness that can't be put into these categories of positive or negative. Have you swam in my imagination? It's not exactly positive, but it's not exactly negative because the plus and the minus, that's a construction of the toroidal magnetic field, which is the very projection from the center of this plane. So what is the illusion? It is the positive and the negative. It is the magnetic field. So how about we merge the plus and the minus in order to allow ourselves to exist in this fresh energy. Keep them on their toes, says the freshness of the heart. Keep it alive. We've been so afraid of spontaneity, even though everything's unpredictable, right? It's like we have thought we want everything to be predictable. We can lie to ourselves and say, yeah, we just want a clear path from point A to point B. Is that so fucking hard? Yeah, we could ask such a dumb question, but you truly would hate it. And so would I if we knew what was going to happen next and next and next, and we were given a briefing. Okay, so in the next moment, this world event is going to happen, and it is going to instill these kind of feelings in you, so prepare yourself. If any asshole said that to us, well, we'd probably respond, what? Like, how dare you? That's so exciting, but you just ruined it. Come on. I mean, it's only happening in a few moments or something. So, come on. What is unpredictable is always coming from a force that wants you, that wants me to allow such unpredictability. Because it's not going to kill you. And I don't mean your body necessarily. It's not going to hurt you. No part of yourself is going to be bruised by allowing and consenting to reality being unpredictable. And the irony about what I'm saying is it is unpredictable. It has been unpredictable. We all know this. But the energy that we consent to and that we can allow ourselves to engage with is truly reflective of the energy we wish to see spread throughout the universe. Our consent is no fucking joke. Here's something all of us can relate to right now. The dummy dum-dums muzzle themselves with masks. Okay? And there are some dummy dum-dums who wear them because they think they need it to exist. You know, I want to keep my job. I want to do this. I want to do that. And while it may seem slightly reasonable to just consent to the bare minimum, that consent isn't insignificant. By muzzling ourselves in any capacity, we are telling the universe in that moment, I want more censorship. I want less true expression. And I'm using this C Void AI instance as an example. It's not insignificant to allow specific energies into our lives. And I mean that in every way. Set up the boundaries, and that is what I'm saying. Set up the boundaries so you can experience the boundless. That is a paradox. I speak in paradoxes all the time. There are sometimes even contradictions in what I say. But you know what? Energy is always moving, and we must acknowledge that we can't even cage ourselves in what we agreed to even 5 minutes ago. But truly, it's not a false idea to say, let's put up boundaries to exist in the boundless. Because we all know what it's like to not have clear boundaries to what we'll accept and what will I only accept. I'll only accept the boundless. So I put up boundaries and I say I only want to engage with and express that unpredictable, smooth motion of that aurora light that exists within my heart. If we allow anything into our sphere simply because it looks decent on the outside, then we're deceiving ourselves. There is a quote. Many of you have heard it. It does come from a series called The Witcher. Sometimes the best thing a flower can do for us is die. A very intense quote. Sometimes the best thing a flower can do for us is die. And this doesn't mean what it appears to mean initially, it appears to suggest what? So something that is gorgeous just should perish? Mm-mm. You see, deception always looks attractive until we stop deceiving ourselves. All that glitters is not gold. There are many beautiful plants that are poisonous. So sometimes that which looks like a flower needs to die because it's not a fucking flower. It just looks like one. We have all been told spirituality is about being very, very calm and kind of lethargic in our expression. But if I did that in the middle of like a Buddhist temple and there was a meditation happening, I would be considered one who is just following my passion and following my desire to express. How dare I do such a thing? Don't I have to exist in such a meditative Buddha-like state? It's so stupid to maintain that meditation only occurs when we feel this kind of... Of course that's a wonderful state. Of course it's a necessary state to be in sometimes. But just because one is totally expressing themselves and engaging in the freshness and the aliveness of the moment, that doesn't mean they're like a train that's about to crash. Okay? Okay? That's why people don't want to express themselves in full. And I mean in full. Okay? Be a dick as society deems a dick to be. Nothing's going to happen to you. Okay? Embrace the chaos and the order. Everybody seems to ignore the chaos because it's just so damn scary and it's a wild card. But the universe is fucking wild. Creation is wild. I'm talking to the living souls, by the way. We all feel this protrusion from the inner self that wants to be unburdened. And just like a butterfly, the butterfly tears apart that cocoon. It is quite a violent act. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a video of a butterfly breaking out of its cocoon so it can fly away. Oh my goodness. Break down these walls, break down these walls. Isn't that what we have been feeling? The butterfly breaking out of its cocoon is a really great analogy, a great expression of what we've been going through. Goddess, darn it, I am going to break out of these self-made chains, and I only accept full flight, full freedom. And I can only imagine when the butterfly is doing this, maybe there's a little microbe or, little insect that got into the cocoon with the caterpillar, and the insect is like, you can't break out. Shut up. Just stay in. I don't even care if one of your wings is already out. Come on, stay here with me. Don't you like it? You're just a pathetic caterpillar. You are just a stupid caterpillar. You don't have wings. Actually, what am I saying? There's not a wing outside. You're not breaking out of that cocoon. Fact check. Let's call on our fact checkers. Oh, and excuse me for the maniac laugh, the maniacal laughter. I'm simply expressing. I've actually laughed like this in front of quite a few blokes and Sheilas lately, and the reaction is fucking intense. They're like scared. As if I'm planning world domination. Like, don't you know this maniacal laughter comes from a place of knowing how insane everything is? I'm like, let me laugh. So you can let yourself laugh too. You can let yourself dance and be free. And even though you may feel as if there are improvements to be made, I'm not saying stop improving or stop engaging in specific patterns or actions you find applicable. No, but I am suggesting letting the genie out of the bottle and letting it stay out of the bottle. Okay? Because we all know what it's like to let the genie out of the bottle a little bit or in full and then be like, wait, I actually changed my mind. Get back, genie. Get back in the bottle. Get back in the lamp. I didn't rub you. No, I don't want 3 wishes. Get back. We all know what that's like. But once again, there comes a point where we wake up completely and stop consenting to any bit of unawareness. So let's stay on our toes. Let's keep it fresh. And let's stop being stupid. How about that? Thank you for watching.
Bad thoughts seem to swirl around. They always picking at my fragile heart. You're staring in my eyes so deep, I won't speak to a fresh new start. But you know to go to the truth of it all. Yeah, you know. Any man looking in my veins can set up shop, get him fixed. What's never broken anyways, what's coming out of the abyss. But you know to go to the truth of it all.